He doesn't have a ceiling. He doesn't have a ceiling, so he can do whatever he wants to do with his career.
Of course, in this league for a long time. Once he continue to get experience under his belt, he's just going to get even better.
He's unbelievable talent. Can score at will anytime he wants. Plays the right way, plays to win. It was great playing against him.
In the history of the NBA, torches have been passed, new eras were ushered in, and players cemented themselves as the leaders for our game on the global scale, from Magic to Bird, to Jordan and Kobe, to LeBron James. You can clearly see when a player is probably going to be an all-time great, almost from the moment they step foot on the court in their first year. Players like Luka, LeBron, or even Shaquille O'Neal were obviously going to be all-time greats and pillars for our fans to look at for the foreseeable future. And I get that same feeling when watching Victor Wembanyama. Victor is having, frankly, one of the best rookie seasons of all time. And really, it wouldn't be crazy to say he's knocking on the door of a top 15 to 20 player in year one with the league as stacked with talent as maybe it ever will be in NBA history. Take over the last 5 games. Wembanyama is averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, and 3 steals. Compare these to stats of some perennial all-stars from the new gen, like Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, and Karl Anthony Towns, and he actually stacks up the same, if not better, than literal all-star caliber players in only his first season. Oh, and don't worry, this isn't just a small sample size. He's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal for the entire season. These numbers are comparable to all-time greats like Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Anthony Davis in their first years. What makes Wemby such a shoo-in to be an all-time great and a surefire face of the NBA is that he can almost do everything possible on the basketball court. First, let's start off with defense. What do most rookies lack when they come in? Probably defensive awareness and defense as a whole. Well, it's not the same with Victor. He's probably a top 15 defender in the league and a top 5 rim protector already this early into his NBA career. Obviously, his frame and athleticism is going to get him blocks, but his timing and instincts to time blocks and deter people from the rim is only going to get better. Better from a top 5 standpoint, by the way, already. Just for the sense of comparison, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been known as one of the best shot blockers from recent memory in the modern generation, but he's fouled out so many times and he averages 3.5 fouls per game. Compare that to Wemby, he only averages 2 fouls and is doubling the number of blocks per game, and he's fouling out less. Besides being a rim protector savant that he is, he also shows the ability to guard the pick and roll, maybe the best that, again, we've ever seen. Because of his frame, 9-foot wingspan, he can guard a ball handler and try to get a contest on the shot, and then cover to the roller and try to get a contest on a dunk or a lob as well. Not to mention he can also do a decent job at guarding the perimeter. Some of the players that we look at when guarding the perimeter really well that are bigs are guys like Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo. He cannot do it as well as these guys yet, but he shows the ability to be nimble, as we know that he's nimble on his feet. He can move pretty good laterally, and if you probably get past him, he'll probably be able to get a block as well. So on defense, he really doesn't show many or not that many holes at all. Now let's move on to offense. Offensively, it's not an understatement to say we've never seen anything like him. I would like to start that he has GOAT lob threat potential. At 7'5" with a 9-foot wingspan with good athleticism makes him the easiest target possibly in NBA history. And he gets less lobs than he maybe should, as the Spurs don't have a great playmaker off the pick and roll or a great playmaker in general. Victor can legitimately get 10 to 13 points just off lobs and little putbacks just because of his size and his frame. Now you mix up a potential all-time great lob threat with someone that has shown the ability to face up and hit mid-range pull-ups, mid-range spin shots, mid-range face-ups, and step-backs. He can also drive the ball for driving dunks and layups, and he's also working on his handle as well, as we've seen him pull out sham gods, crossovers, and even nutmeg someone. Not to mention he's been hitting 2 threes a game for the whole month this year, and he doesn't only shoot catch-and-shoot threes that are wide open because the defense would rather concede that shot to him. He shoots them as a guard would. He shoots step-backs, or he may shoot them coming off a pin down. The only thing missing is maybe his post game, as he is a little still in his slimmer frame right now. But if he was to get even an above average post game, he could be nearing somewhat of a flawless player at the offensive end, especially if his efficiency picks up. The next thing to talk about when it comes to Wemby is his mindset. All the greats have a great mindset that their peers and others rave about, and it's already started with Victor Wembanyama. Under the tutelage of a well-ran franchise like the San Antonio Spurs, and arguably the greatest coach of all time in Coach Popovich, Wemby has great tools at his disposal, and people in that franchise have already talked about how he's using them. Other than his franchise, he is apparently eager to learn, as Jamal Crawford was saying, as he met up with him in All-Star Weekend, and he was just learning to pick up some new moves that a 7'5" guy just would not be doing in any other time period in this history. Even just now today, he was compared to Michael Jordan, as they both had 5 blocks and 5 steals in back-to-back games. But he didn't let that comparison go to his head. He was more concerned about losing in back-to-back games and said that he doesn't really care about stats. And although that may seem like the right thing to say, and it is, just don't get that from a lot of players all the time. On the outlook to end this video off, Wemby is obviously great right now, but let's say 2 to 3 years from now, where do you think he will be in terms of rankings in the NBA? It may sound crazy, but the only players I think definitely better than him in 2 to 3 years would be Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and possibly Joel Embiid. From there, the combination of being maybe the best two-way player in the game, the best rim protector in the game, the best lob threat in the game, and a still premier scoring option from all levels of the floor that can also handle the ball and shoot threes. Players like Devin Booker, Jayson Tatum, and maybe even SGA may individually be washed out just because they're not able to equal what he brings to a basketball court. And these guys are superstars in our league already and are in their prime years, and Wemby is just a rookie. And he only be around 22 to 23 years old, while these guys are approaching their 30s. He is already at 20 and 10 with 3 blocks on some minutes restrictions. So a couple years from now may look like around 25 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals, and some more crazy numbers. The only thing left for him from this point would be to win more games consistently and get into the playoffs, and then it would be all over from there. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Please subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal and get some more followers before March and keep this thing running. I'm out. Peace.